childhood?
Well, Dr. Teresa, I had a pretty good childhood, if I do say so myself. Both of my parents were present, and there was always someone there to take care of me. My mom actually quit her job so that there would always be someone there with me. I loved being with my parents. Then when I was in preschool, my mom said I would always cry whenever they would leave me there because I was so attached to them.
Well, sounds to me like you developed a secure pattern of attachment with your parents. Your relationship with your parents was characterized by feelings of intimacy, emotional security, and physical safety.
Wow, Dr. Teresa, I think you're right.
Yes, well, that's why I'm a doctor.
Okay.
So anyways, back to your childhood. Let's move on to your middle childhood.
Middle childhood? What is that exactly?
Your middle childhood is the time between ages 6 through 12. You go through what Erickson would call the stage of industry versus inferiority. So tell me, did you enjoy going to school?
Yes, I definitely enjoyed going to school. School has always been something I have loved since I was little. I met one of my best friends in the first grade, and we were super competitive with each other. Always trying to get better grades than the other person and trying to be at the top of the class. Schoolwork usually came very easy to me. I did not really have to work that hard for my grades because I kind of just got it. Everything kind of just clicked in my mind.
That sounds good. Sounds like you've achieved a sense of industry during your middle childhood, where you felt like you accomplished a lot, especially in school.
This is true.
Yes. Okay, so let's skip forward to your older years, which we call emerging adulthood. So, from what I've heard, you had a pretty good childhood, good relationships with your friends and family, and you enjoyed going to school.
Yeah.
Yeah, so tell me a little about your college experience.
Well, let's see. My dad made me go to a junior college right out of high school. I hated it in the beginning, but it ended up being really good for me because I switched my major while I was in college, so a whole year and a half went to waste.
Oh, so this whole time you were living at home, right?
Right. It wasn't until I transferred to APU that I actually moved out of the house.
Oh, okay. So tell me how you dealt with that transition in your life.
Well, it was definitely one of the biggest events in my life, moving out of my house and into a different city. I transferred in the middle of the year, spring semester, so it was more difficult. The first couple of months were the hardest. I had to build all new relationships from scratch. It was very difficult, but eventually it worked itself out, and I'm really glad that I went through that.
Great. Well, I'm glad everything worked out for you. So at this point, you're now what Erickson would call the young adulthood stage, which is between the ages of 21 and 34. In this stage, you will experience intimacy versus isolation. This is a time when many of your intimate relationships will be formed. Tell me, how are your relationships going these days?
They're going pretty well. I have a very close relationship with all of my family members. I also have many friends whom I have intimate and meaningful relationships with.
So do you have a boyfriend right now, or a guy who you have an intimate relationship with?
No.
What do you look for in a guy?
You know what? I really don't know.
Well, here, let's take some time to reflect and see what attracts you to a person you would like to form an intimate relationship with.
Okay.
Okay. So, do you look for a guy who's intelligent?
Yes.
Who has character?
Yes.
Physical appearance and attractiveness?
Yes.
Financial success?
Yes.
Prestige and status?
Yes.
A strong sense of identity?
Yes.
A sense of humor?
Yes.
Caring and sensitivity?
Yes.
Independence?
Yes.
A quiet person?
No.
An outgoing person?
Yes.
Someone who will make decisions for you?
Possibly. I think so.
Someone who is willing to make decisions cooperatively?
Yes.
Someone you can depend on?
Yes.
Someone who you can't live without?
No.
Okay. Someone who works hard and is disciplined?
Yes.
Someone who likes to play and have fun?
Yes.
Someone who has values similar to yours?
Yes, definitely.
And someone you'd like to grow old with?
Of course. Oh, but he also has to be Christian, tall, cute, have good teeth, good credit, either be in school or have already graduated with a degree in science or maybe a business degree, but nothing in like art or music. And he must be currently working if he's not going to school. owns his own car, doesn't smoke, may drink occasionally, has a good health history with a minimal amount of family diseases.
Okay then. Moving on. What are you going to school for now?
I'm doing nursing.
And how do you like that?
I love it. I'm 100% sure that this is definitely what I should be doing in my life.
Awesome. Well, according to Holland's 6 personality types, from what I've heard, you sound like a social type.
Social type? What's that?
Well, social types are friendly, enthusiastic, outgoing, and cooperative. They enjoy the company of other people and are understanding about others' feelings and problems. They like helping others and get along well with others.
Yep, that sounds about right.
So, what kind of nurse do you want to be?
I definitely want to do some work in the ER. Oddly enough, I enjoy being stressed out. I like having to think on my toes and working in a fast-paced environment.
Well, Kim, it sounds to me like you have a personality pattern we like to label as hardiness. Hardiness is characterized by an appetite for challenge, a sense of commitment, and a strong sense of being in control of one's life.
That does sound like me.
But don't forget, there can also be times when you're completely stressed out and exhausted and experience burnout. You need to learn how to take care of yourself so that this does not happen constantly. You need to be able to take time for yourself or just take a vacation and remove yourself from the situation temporarily.
Thanks, Dr. Teresa. This session has been quite helpful. I've learned a lot about myself.